Alright guys, we're back. This is the final day, the final 7 hours before the first lockout of 2022 Supercoach. Thought I'd come and talk about the final version of the team until I change it again in another 20 minutes. But yeah, go over the players and I guess we'll just go over some like popular players, not just ones in my team, because I've kept roughly the same core, just kind of switched it around. And also this making up for the video I posted a couple of days ago where the audio sucked. It's probably the worst audio I've ever uploaded. But yeah, we'll just go through this. The players that I've kept, I won't talk too much about. Lloyd, like I said last time, super consistent. No questions on role. He'll always be the kick-out guy for Sydney. And like it says here, when they do the whole switch around half-back to move it onto the other side, like the switch in defence, he always has the ball like 3 times in that possession. Ridley, I've either added in or he was there the last time and I've added short. I think I've added Ridley. Man, he's just... I like watching Ridley play. I like seeing those intercept defenders, and for Supercoach's sake, I like seeing high kick-out defenders. Yeah, I think he's great. His role, not super-duper, extremely sure on, but even in bad scenarios, Ridley has scored good. I think take out the injury last year, like that one injury game, his average really is pretty good. This is an undervalued price. He's probably around 570k, honestly, if you were to like actually rank it. But where's the injury game? Is that it? 88? Maybe that's it. Look at all this. This is all over 100 here. Like, even a bad game. If a bad game is 88, is that what I'm looking at? Oh no, that's per opponent. I don't like this. I wish that was just 2021 there. This is... Why does it do this? Alright, here's the injury. 31. Did not play. 80, really, like... Alright, if that's your bottom, the lowest you can score is 80... Say 85, it's middle ground. I'm alright with that, Sometimes you can get a defender that will pop out of 31. So I'd prefer that it's, in the 80s. I prefer over 100, but worst case scenario, I'm fine with 80. Short I had before, sort of the same situation. He's always going to score the same. He's going to get his touches. He's going to be like a good kick. Butcher it maybe like once every 5 games. But, he's, for the most part, really good. Very important for Richmond, so he's like a key part for them. So yeah, I'm fine with picking him. Whitfield, have to pick him. His price is so low. He is the same caliber as these guys, so you do have to pick him at that price. Again, the same story for these guys. They're all very important for their team and defense, and their role is getting the ball, having high possession count, and moving it forward. It's sort of a midfield role. Halfback is almost midfield. Hewitt, this one keeps coming in and out. For a while he was like stable, but now that I'm really thinking about it, when another team midfielder goes off, like, who they got? They got Richmond round 1. Say Dusty has like 25 touches in like 2.5 quarters. They're going to put Hewitt on him to tag him. They're going to do it. And then you've lost like all the second half scoring. So I'm not completely sold on this pick, not as much as I was before, but I think he's fine. Until Walsh is back, I think Hewitt is a fine pick. 400k, there's not many other people at this price range. There's Sicily, but Sicily's coming off an injury, who I think I had before, but I kind of wisened up a bit. Picking someone coming off an ACL, maybe not the greatest idea. Being a basketball fan, there's a lot of ACL injuries I've seen, and it really does take like 2 years to recover from it. The first year back is really just trying to regain your balance and regain strength in that leg. We'll see with Sicily. I don't. If he does come in, he'll come in as an upgrader. I don't think he's a start. And then the rookies, Hinge, McCartan, de Koning. Hinge, if he plays, will be fine. Like, his scoring won't be amazing, but he'll play, I'd say, like, every week. I don't think there's someone that's, like, super competitive for his job. He should play. His scores will be fieldable until you get an upgrade for him. McCartan, I reckon McCartan's actually going to have, like, a couple high scores and a couple low scores. Just there won't be any consistency. So I think if you were to pick, he's better on the bench, because maybe it's just my philosophy. I like consistency on field. De Koning, he'll be a slow burn. He did have a high. What was it? 93 in the second Amy game, or their second practice game, which was the Amy game. But I don't really see that going forward. I think that's probably going to be his high Supercoach score for a while. But yeah, he'll be fine. He'll play every week, if not most weeks, you know. Midfield, I took out Steele and I hate it. Jack Steele is one of, like, the most entertaining players to watch. He does everything. He tackles, he can kick a good goal, high possession count, breaks tackles. He's just really, like, the prototype midfielder. But the Steele money got cut up. He's like 680k. It got split up into adding Ridley in defence and adding Naish as a forward, just because I wasn't too sold on Mitch Mcgovern. We'll get into it when we get down to the forward line, but yeah, that's where Steele's gone. I kind of moved one player into two. I think Took is going to have the better start of season, but I think Steele will have the better season. Steele is just really, really good. I don't know. I keep thinking maybe I just drop Ridley and put him back in, but yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. Neil, man, I've seen people saying Neil's a trap. No. He's a Brownlow level player at 550k. You start him. In the 2 games, practice games, he's looked great. He's looked like prime Neil. Just chuck him in, set and forget. Raul, I'm waiting for this to burn me like last year. He's going to get injured round 3. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Raul is, like, really good all around. What did he have, like, a 170 in his first 3 games? Absolutely insane. He's, like, 3 games in and we're like, can this guy win a Brownlow in his rookie season? That's insane, right? Now, after 2 games, he scored really good. I think he had 120 in both games, or like 110 and 120. Really hoping he keeps up that form. And, man, please tell me Gold Coast fitness is better than it was last year. Last year, everyone was hurt. So hopefully this year's a bit better. Jared Berry, I think he's just another player that you really should have in your team. I don't think I had him in the last in the last one I made, but you really do need this guy in your team. Under 300k for someone that's going to score like 80, 90, 100. It's too good to miss. You're going to make heaps of money here, and even if this doesn't go into a direct upgrade, maybe gets you an extra forward that's like a fallen premium. Say he's like 450k. There's always that one forward. Like say Butters, right? Like, what if he goes up to 500k and then comes back down? Maybe he has a small niggle injury that causes a bad score. Now you can swap Berry to Butters, and your forward line's set. And the rookies, Horn Francis, he'll play every game unless he's really bad, but I doubt it. Dacos is fine. He got named this morning to the team, which of course that's no surprise. We all knew he was going to play. He's the best rookie in the class. Ward, same thing. He'll play, I want to say every week, but Hawthorn is a bit weird. They have dropped in-form rookies before, so we'll see. But he had a good preseason game without Jago O'Meara and without Titch in the team. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe he can just scavenge a couple of touches, get a good on-field score, and then maybe next year they move on from one of the two, and he's like a midfield centerpiece. Which then I'd pick him next year because Hawthorn midfield's good. Bench, Stevens should play. I'm waiting on the team sheets, but when do they play? Saturday. Okay, so when that's going to come out? Friday. Alright, so a lot of people are going to be locked in at that point. It's a bit tough. I guess maybe Sin? No, I don't know. It's a tough one, actually. If Stevens is named sub, which I've seen two analyst experts say he's going to be the sub. I really hope not. Honestly, I think the AFL should make it either a common courtesy, handshake agreement among teams, or an actual rule. You can't play a first gamer as a sub. I don't think it's fair to the family watching. Yeah, that would suck if he's the sub. McDonald, he'll play. He's probably the best winger right now. Wingard is just a shell of himself. He can still have like one good game every now and then, but you got to play the youth. And it's Brady, Hugh, he'll play. There's no one at West Coast available. They are all injured or have COVID or don't want to get a jab. He'll play. Hopefully I think he's got a free first 3 games. Like, that's absolutely free. There's not enough midfielders for the first 3 weeks. Then I think Tim Kelly comes back. Then I think Shuey's like in contention. So from there we'll see how it goes. But I think he'll be fine. Hopefully he shows out and he keeps a spot past that. We'll see. Darcy Grundy, I'm really thinking about Gawn because I don't like the injury risk in this team. You got Whitfield, who I've said before, you can't like bank on these injuries because they're all like not repeatable. They're not soft tissue ones. But that he has had injuries in the past. Raul is always injured, it feels like, in these, like, he's only in his 3rd year, but you know what it is. Berry could get hurt, I guess. Dunkley's coming off an injury. Hopefully that doesn't get any worse. His shoulder, it's a bit tough. Butters coming off injury. Canelio never plays a full season. And we'll get into this. So I'm not super sold on having Darcy here just because of the injury risk of my team. The rucks are very set and forget. You never, if it can be helped, you never want to trade in your ruck line. Use it. We've got 35 trades this year. That's for defence, midfield and forward, not for the rucks, right? Maybe you're starting Bruce or someone that's going to be a cash gen at ruck 3 and you could use a trade there. But in terms of like on-field rucks, you never really want to be switching. You don't want to have to upgrade Wits to Gawn. You don't want to have to do that. You want to just set and forget. You don't have to look at that line unless you're setting a captain or something, right? You don't really want to look at that line. Grundy's in for a good season. It feels like it, right? It feels like he's going to have a good year. Dunkley, have to pick him. He's easily the best forward here. He's one of the better midfielders. If he was in the midfield, he's in contention to be picked. But yeah, as a forward, you have to pick him. There's actually a chance that this is the last year he'll get forward, depending on how much mid-time he plays. Which next year's forward line is going to be tough, unless they get like 5 forward or something like that. Butters, hopefully he just continues where he was last year. His form last year It's really good for someone his age. Yeah, that's really all there is to him. But it's banking on the upgrade, if that makes any sense. There was probably a bit of a pause there. Something came up on screen and I accidentally pressed pause. Where was I? Butters. Canelio is really, really underpriced. He's a 500k. Maybe not anymore. We'll see. But yeah, he's good. You know, there was that year where he was like a Brownlow contender. He wasn't really like, I don't even think he polled that many votes, but like he was in the talks for it. He's really good. His captain, maybe now I agree with him being captain, but not back then. But they've got like 4 captains now, so we'll see how that goes. Then Sherry, who should be playing Ruck 1 for North, I believe. That doesn't come out till... Well, that game's not till Sunday, so that doesn't come out till Saturday, our lineups. I can't remember if it's day before. I think it's Friday. We shall see on Sherry. The only problem is I'm kind of locked into this. There's not really many ways out, which I'm not a fan of. Maybe another rookie, but yeah, it is what it is. Naish will play, and I think he'll be pretty good as well. From West Coast forums and stuff like that, I've heard he could play either halfback or wing. If he plays halfback, that's perfect. That is the Supercoach role. Especially Naish, who in his time at Richmond, he wasn't the worst kick in the world, right? For a team that does need a bit of youth, you know, Hearn is so old, Mcgovern is so old. There was a couple of retirements last year because, retirements happen. They're old as well. I think Naish is a good fit down back. Worst case scenario, he's a wing that plays every game, and he's putting up pretty average scores. But the job security, I think, is fine for 189k. It's only 5 more than Rochelle. Yeah, I think it's Rochelle. Both these guys, I think, job security outweighs their cost, which there's not much job security for rookies this year. The bench have got Baldwin and Dixon and Hayes, I guess, for rucks. That can just be an easy swap there. Hayes, I think he's already confirmed to be playing, if not like a high chance not confirmed yet. Baldwin, I think he's playing for Harry Jones, that's gone down with injury. Someone went down with an injury. Maybe it was Peter Wright, was it him? I can't remember. I don't really follow Essendon. But yeah, I've just seen through a couple of posts and stuff like that that he's playing, so I think everyone should pick him. There's only 2, 1, 2, I'll call them 1, 2, 3 rookies. There's only 2 of them playing. That's crazy. Then Hugh Dixon, until the West Coast forward line is like set with Darling, Kennedy, who I think Kennedy should have retired, Liam Ryan, Oscar Allen, Dixon will get minutes. I think he'll actually even get ruck minutes. Now he doesn't stay on the pitch for long, so depending on Dixon's tank, he should get some pretty solid ruck minutes. So that ruck forward, it's not the best, but it's all right for a rookie when you need a score. I think later on, depending on how his consistency goes, he actually could be fieldable in the forward line, not in the rucks. Don't even think about it. We'll see. And Hayes is either very slow burn, he plays like when Ryder's hurt, or he's just a loop. He's the loop for the team. But yeah, we'll go over just a couple of players quickly. We're already at 20 minutes, so we'll just go over like really popular picks that I haven't got in. We went over Steele, who's probably number 1 that I haven't got. Let's see if we can just... What's the under coach's choice? I did see one there, which I could talk about. Gawn we spoke about. I do actually want Gawn in the team, just can't afford it. Gibcus, again, he's debuting, so I might switch around defence and see if I can get him in, maybe for Hinge. Hinge hasn't been confirmed yet. Gibcus has, so maybe just switch that. Dusty, I don't believe in. Not currently. Could bring him in later, but he's going to put up a good score versus Carlton. He'll put up probably like a 130. Everyone's going to jump on him. But then after that, his price is going to drop. That's how it always goes. Sometimes he hits like 400k. That's when you want to bring him in. When you think he's at his lowest is when you bring him in. And it's not right now. It's not before game 1. Will Brodie, I'm not sold on him playing enough midfield minutes once Fife comes back to justify it. We'll see though. Could be alright. And even, say you miss him in the starting team, 350k for a midfielder is fine. People will say like the, what is it, 150 rule or something like that. You have to, what is it? I don't know, there's some weird rule. 30 above, yeah, you're priced average to make 100k, something like that. I think you can just bring in players that you need at a certain point in the season. Cripps, definitely not sold on. He looked great, but still not sold. I need to see a lot more from him. Not just a preseason game where everyone's going 50% and you're going at 110. Maybe calm down the preseason game and leave it for the actual season. It is what it is. Crisp I haven't got, but I think he's a great pick. Just can't afford him. I think he's a really good pick. A defender playing midfield for Collingwood is very good. Clayton Oliver, I just think the options are better right now. I think Took, McRae and Steele, all three are above him. I'd say he's on the same level as Bont, though. So if you wanted Bont, I think you could 50-50 to Oliver. Sicily, like I said, just not a fan of coming off an ACL. Sin probably won't play. Nick Martin is good if you need a 1 or 2k player, but Dixon and Hayes are both better. Heaney, man, he's going to have a good season, but I just can't afford him in the starting team. And then he's going to be 500k and I can't afford him. It's just a tough situation. I like Butters better. That's why I've got Butters and not Heaney. But I wouldn't say Heaney's bad to have at all. Man, I don't know. I want to almost rearrange and get Heaney in now. We'll see. Rayner is a trap. Don't pick him. Treloar is going to be good until he gets hurt. Every year Treloar gets hurt. So it's going to happen. He's even already gone in for scans after it was either the practice game or the Amy game. He had to go in for scans, which any thought I had of picking him is instantly out the window. If there's the slightest injury hint for Treloar, you can't pick him. He's almost 500k for an injured player. You can't do that. Taranto, not right now. I think later on, his price will drop and then you bring him in. He'll be a top 6 to 8 forward. So final team will have him in because there's not many good forwards. Tom Stewart, again, coming off an injury. The Liz Frank injury is, I think, what Kevin Durant had like 6 years ago, and it took him a while to recover. No, that wasn't that, was it? I think that was the one he had after the finals, and took him like a full season out to recover. So Tom Stewart hasn't had the same amount of time, but he also isn't as big, so we'll see. I'm just not a fan of picking people coming off an injury. But then I've got Rowell in the team, so it's kind of cap. Caldwell, we'll wait and see. When Supercoach first opened, he was actually in my team. I thought, man, Shields down, Essendon midfield's open. Parrish had his breakout year last year. Maybe it's Caldwell's turn. Not too sure now. We'll see. That's another wait and see there. Gresham, I think he's playing too much forward. Bruce, I don't know. He's suspended for round 1, so man, I don't know. I think there's better ruck 3 options. Who else we got? Mcgovern, like I said in the last one, his engine is just a bit weird. Like, how long does he stay motivated to be a fit, energetic halfback? Or, like, I don't know what he's even playing. It's like halfback technically, but I don't know, he's doing a bunch of stuff. We'll see, though. Again, he's 250. If I bring him in, he's probably 300, which isn't the worst. It just takes a rookie going up to that price. Petrarca, I think his efficiency's not the best. Otherwise, he'd be great. If his efficiency could clean that up, then he's probably like a top 6 midfielder. I mean, he won the Norm Smith, so he's pretty good. Surprise. Bont, same thing. I think it's just a matter of you can only have so many midfielders because they're so expensive. That Bont just gets left off. Final team is fine to have. He will drop in price. He'll probably drop about 100k. And when that comes, you feel free to pick him up. He's great. He's in a contention for a Brownlow this year, in my opinion. Kerno shanks it too much. English is a weird one. He's got like a half-gone role where he goes back in defence, but later in the year they're going to switch him out for Steph Martin, and then your scoring is doo-doo. Zach Bailey, wait and see. It's way too much of a shot in the dark. Darcy Parish, I think, is a bit overpriced. So, with a full healthy Essendon midfield, look at the scores from the end of last year. That's not 630k worthy. So, I reckon just wait a bit on him and then pick him up. Rich, a bit older now. We'll see. He's usually just really good, but we'll see. He'll probably be a defensive upgrade, to be honest. Mitchell and Kelly are both good. Mitchell's coming off an injury and Kelly plays for GWS. That's enough said. Caleb Daniel is a bit weird. He's burned a lot of people last year, but then made up for it in the later part of the year. Just wait and see on him. We've got to see if he's in form and what his role is. Heath Chapman, I'm not sold on this at all. I don't think he'll score good enough to keep a spot. Like, right now, if you've got him in, he's probably D4 to D5. I don't think for almost, what is he, actually just 275k. I don't think his scoring is good enough for that. I think just go for a rookie and bank them extra money. Who else we got? GOOO, go to jail. Durden. Durden's fine. If you wanted to pick Durden, that's fine. He's just a bit too expensive. If I was to go like Naish to Durden, I'd be fine with that. Oh my god, I'm dropping a huge player. It's fine. Durden's scoring though, it's not going to be great. So know that he is a forward that his score just comes from kicking goals. So probably want to bench him until there's a good matchup, and that's definitely not Richmond. Bowie's that's an interesting one, but no. Brayshaw, wait and see how much he's improved. Duncan is injured, and we're getting into just like random territory under 5%. So yeah, I think that's about it for this one. 7 hours till the Supercoach season starts. Wish you all the best of luck. Again, try to stay away from injured players. Don't burn all your trades in round 1. Enjoy the footy. This is just a game. Go watch the actual footy, the sport. Or just, maybe put it down if this is making you a bit angry. Either way, enjoy the game. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. Definitely not padding it out. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Tasty out.